Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so real, that for a fleeting moment you could not tell where the dream ended and reality began? The wise king Janak, honored across the lands, once faced the same question. One night, the mighty king, covered in gold, silk, and glory, drifted into a deep slumber. A man with wealth, power, and wisdom. And yet, one night, none of that mattered. In his sleep, he was no longer a king, no palace, no servants, no crown. He was a beggar. Rags clung to his body, tattered and filthy. His stomach growled with the kind of hunger that devours dignity. And as he wandered through the streets, begging for food, pleading, strangers turned their faces away from him, disgusted. He felt cold, powerless, and utterly alone. Janak felt the weight of hopelessness, the bitter taste of rejection. He was no longer a ruler of men, he was nothing. And then he woke up. The warmth of his royal bed surrounded him. The soft feathered sheets of his blanket embraced him once more. The faint smell of incense drifted through the air. Servants stood at attention, ready to fulfill his every whim. And yet, King Janak, this man who had everything, felt a chill run through his very soul. The dream would not leave him. The beggar would not leave him. Janak whispered to himself, "Was I a beggar dreaming I was a king? Or am I a king who dreamt he was a beggar?" This question, it haunted him. It followed him through the halls of his palace into the chambers of his mind. What was real? The beggar or the king? The dream or this waking world? Who was he really? The beggar or the king? Both? Neither? In his court, he summoned the wisest minds of his kingdom, scholars, mystics, philosophers. "Tell me," he demanded, "what is real, the beggar or the king, the dream or the waking?" Armed with scriptures and philosophies, the sages, they debated, they theorized, they tried to solve the riddle. The sages argued, they quoted scriptures, debated logic, and offered answers that only deepened Janak's confusion. Nothing, they said, could pierce the fog in Janak's heart. Ashtavakra looked at the king. He looked at Janak, not at the king, not at the man, but at something deeper, and smiled. "O Janak," he said, "neither the beggar nor the king is real. Both are but waves on the ocean of your consciousness. You are the one who sees the beggar. You are the one who sees the king. You are not the roles you play. You are the silent witness, the eternal, unchanging awareness in which all dreams rise and fall. You are the witness, the one who sees both the dream and the waking. You are not the roles you play, but the awareness in which they arise and dissolve." And in that moment, Janak woke up again, not from a dream, but from the illusion of identity. In that moment, Janak's turmoil melted away. He realized he was neither beggar nor king. Those were masks, temporary, fleeting. Beneath it all, he was something infinite, eternal, untouched by dreams or waking life. And you listening to this, who are you in this moment? The lover? The worker? The thinker? Or are you the dreamer trapped in a dream you have mistaken for life? Aren't you also playing roles? Because if you're not the king and you're not the beggar, if you're not the mother, the father, the worker, the dreamer, then Who are you? You see, that's the ultimate question, the one we spend our lives running from. We bury ourselves in roles, in identities, in dreams we mistake for reality, because to look beyond them is to face the void, to face the truth that you are nothing and everything. And that truth, it does not care about your comfort, it does not care about your dreams. It will strip you bare, leaving you to stand naked before the infinite. Aren't we all wandering through dreams? Some with eyes open, others with eyes closed. We live our lives clinging to roles, lost in stories, stories of success and failure, of love and loss, of what we are and what we are not. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who is the one dreaming all of this? If you strip it all away, the levels, the identities, the fleeting highs and the crossing lows, what remains? Who remains? You are not the beggar who suffers. You are not the king who rules. You are the witness, the silent void in which both rise and fall. You are not what you think you are. You are what remains when all thoughts are gone. Perhaps it's time to stop identifying with the waves and remember that we are the ocean. So, I ask you, are you dreaming that you are awake? Or are you awake dreaming of life?